you enjoy listening to the Lunapodcast? You can now find us on Patreon at thelunapod, where you can show your support for the podcast for only $1 a month. Or for a little bit more, you can get early access and bonus episodes, contribute to our podcast segments, and receive exclusive video content as we film our reactions, reviews, and discover new K-pop groups. Head over to Patreon now to join the community. We can't wait to chat with you.
I dare you, listeners, that's you, to tell me one duo who could go up against Hyunjin and Felix for visuals.
You literally can't.
It's impossible. Hi, welcome to the Lunapod, where we talk all things K-pop. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Raquel, and today we are going to be talking about the top idols in K-pop, like all around just best of the best.
We've been mentally trying to keep a list of who we think are the top idols in different positions, but we decided it's time to put it down on paper and make an episode about it. You might have different opinions, and that's okay. This is just our list and who we think are the tops.
Which, honestly, our opinions are very accurate anyway, so...
I think so, too.
Okay, let's jump right into the top vocalists in K-pop. First, we had to put Yuki Hyun from Monsta X. He's also a soloist. This man probably has some of my favorite vocals of all of K-pop. Like, you cannot listen to him and deny that he doesn't have one of the best voices you've ever heard in your life.
He doesn't. There's like a lot of people on this list that we'll get to in a second that give him a run for his money. But again, I just think he's the best.
He is.
And again, that's my opinion, but it's my opinion. I don't know if y'all get that reference, but...
Monsta X was like the second ever K-pop concert that we went to, and we were just absolutely flabbergasted when he started singing. Like, hearing that man live, like, obviously we listened to him and we're like, oh yeah, he's an amazing singer.
Yeah.
But then hearing him live and watching him perform and like take out his earpiece and just like belt from his chest.
It's so different. It's a different experience, and you're always curious if people are going to be as good as like the studio version, but he was better.
Seriously, cannot deny it. And so maybe y'all need to just go see Monsta X to understand this one, but literally this was probably over a year ago that we saw them, and to this day I still think he is one of the top vocalists in K-pop because of that.
And he's one of my early biases getting into K-pop, which I'm very proud of. And overall, I feel like Monsta X is just underrated. Like, people genuinely forget that they exist for whatever reason. They're very humble. But if you're not as familiar, especially with his work, please go check out Rain, especially a live version of that.
That was the song that was our turning point.
Yes. Full Moon, which was the OST for Tale of Nine Tailed 1938. Very much giving James Bond vibes.
I remember we like discovered that and it was just an absolute shock. It is so amazing. I almost forgot that existed until like right now.
And he's done amazing Imagine Dragons covers. Those are really good to just hone in on his vocals, since it's like a solo thing in a booth or with a mic. It's very like simple setup there. And then with Monsta X, Mercy and Bad Liar.
Just trust us on this one. Go listen to him. Next on our top vocalist list is going to be Lee Ho-taek, also known as Hui. He's from Pentagon. Again, I feel like he's just kind of low-key underrated. Like, not overall, because like Pentagon is like known, but just he's kind of overlooked. And I feel like this happened to like us specifically, especially when we saw him in Boys Planet, because that was our introduction to Hui. And again, it was just one of those scenarios where we listened to him sing and we were just absolutely starstruck. He's just got the most amazing, strong vocals, and it's so stable. Like, we couldn't not put him on this list.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of times it's because there's such big groups in K-pop right now, and since unfortunately like Pentagon doesn't have as big of a presence, I guess, or whatever, however you want to call that, I feel like people forget about him and his vocals. Please don't sleep on this man.
No. We can't get him out of our brain ever since we discovered him, so... Now, some examples that you can go and look up if you're needing to get a refresher of how amazing Hui's vocals are. You can listen to Daisy from Pentagon or 365 Fresh from Triple H. I swear this man has just been in like so many different things and has
he just pops up.
Yeah, and it's funny because in every individual thing he does, you get such a unique and different view of his vocals. Like, I feel like he's got these different ways of showcasing it in all of these like groups or things that he's a part of. Add that to the reasons why he's also probably one of the most talented K-pop artists out there, but that's another discussion. There was also recently this random Instagram video that he did with Hongsuk. Incredible vocals.
It was just beautiful.
Yeah, amazing.
They just dropped that like it was nothing.
And then, of course, the Boys Planet versions of Shutdown and Tomboy. Absolutely amazing. This is where we fell in love with Hui. Definitely recommend checking that one out as well.
Then next we have Lee Juyeon. He's from Extraordinary Heroes. I can't get this man's voice out of my head.
No.
I'm staring at the gigantic poster we have of him in our room right now.
I'm so proud. I never want that to go down. It's amazing.
He's one of the idols that he's not necessarily our bias for the group, but we're just like obsessed with him as an idol.
Yeah.
He has an incredible range and can honestly just really adapt to any kind of concept they're doing or sound that they're wanting for the group, and evokes so much emotion during any song and performance.
I'm thinking about some of the songs that Extraordinary Heroes recently released, like Dear H and
Like Good Enough.
Enough.
Those are very emotional and
just his voice. All of the other members of Extraordinary Heroes did an amazing job in those songs as well, but I swear when Juyeon's voice comes on, it just like, that's when your heart like explodes. Like, he is just amazing. I don't know how to explain.
For whatever reason, like whenever I was thinking about him, he gives off like Prodigy vibes.
Oh, he totally
does. I don't
does.
know if does that make sense?
Yeah,
okay.
no, it totally does. Like, just like that one in like a million voice, like that you get in a century. You know what I mean?
And then just very personally, like I'm extremely picky when it comes to bands and like the sound that I'm wanting, just because I grew up so heavily in like classic rock, like 60s, 70s sound, and that makes me sound. I'm not that old. I want to wait.
just prefer that sound.
Yeah, that made me sound like I grew up during that time. I didn't. I just grew up on that music from my parents. I'm not in my 40s. Not there's anything wrong with it.
Takes all deeper.
Love y'all 40-year-old stands. I'm just saying, that ain't me.
Probably will be us.
Good gosh, it will be.
Yeah.
Lord. Anywho, I just love the sound that they have as a band, and his voice just gives me, I don't know, it's like just the perfect sound that I need, vocal-wise, in a band.
Your brain.
Yes.
Right, yeah. We did already mention Good Enough and Dear H, but also go check out Extraordinary Heroes songs Pirates, Ghost, and Strawberry Cake. They're just wonderful examples of how incredible Juyeon's voice is.
Sometimes I forget Pirates exist.
Oh my gosh, me too.
Which is horrible, because every time I listen to it, my brain like opens again.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite Extraordinary Heroes songs, but for some reason I can't remember her.
And then next we have Kang Sung-shik from Victon. I have the sweetest spot in my heart for Victon so bad, and I'm upset that he's enlisted right now. Beside the point, he's just one of my favorite voices, not only just skill-wise, but the sound, like his
inflection.
What's that called? Yeah.
Yeah, his
tone of voice.
Yeah.
I can't think of words. But I don't know, it's just very unique, and I can always pin him out. Like, even if there were like so many vocalists singing at once, like from different groups, I would always be able to pick out his voice.
Well, and I feel like that is a good indicator of like an incredible vocalist in K-pop in general. I remember when you were already very much into Victon, but I was starting to get into Victon, and I was trying to see if I would have a bias in this group or if it was another OT situation. Yes. And I remember literally because of Sung-shik's vocals, I was really leaning towards him as a bias, and I still kind of am. I haven't like solidified that, and with the whole Victon situation right now, it's kind of just all up in the air. So I'm not quite sure, but yeah, he literally stood out as a possible bias for me because of his vocals.
Mm-hmm. And some examples for you to go check out are Nostalgic Night, Virus, Carry On, which is a solo song, and Time Chaser. Time Chasers, it's hard for me to choose a favorite with Victon, but in my top 3 songs, I'd say. So please go check that one out.
Next on our list is Jin Young-eun. Young-eun is from ONE. Shout out to our brother group ONEUS really quickly. But we heard one clip from this man and we're freaking out. His vocals.
I think we were just watching like a YouTube video of like somebody's top vocalist list and saw him. We're like, wait, we're so rude because we give ONEUS so much attention, but we have been ignoring ONE, not
literally
on purpose.
Shame on us. Yeah,
but
we just haven't taken the time to like really get to know them yet. But we were about to the second that we heard this man's voice because oh my gosh, he has incredible sound and like power behind his voice. Honestly, kind of like an American rock band sound.
Yeah, I get that.
Some examples if you're wanting to hear his voice is Aurora from ONE and also Gravity. And we need to talk about this song for a second.
This makes me so mad. It sounds very dramatic. It's not that dramatic. I randomly got a song stuck in my head and I couldn't remember the song, but I knew it was in English
lyrics. Yeah,
And so
and we knew that it sounded like somebody we knew. We were like, does it sound like Panic at the Disco? Does it sound like Fall Out Boy or 30 Seconds to Mars? Like that kind of a sound. And we were like, it has to be one of those artists. Like that unique voice that we absolutely love. It had to have come from then, like from one of their songs. We searched, I kid you not, probably every single song released by these people.
Yeah, and I was asking my parents if they recognized the song. I was like, who knows this song? Like, because in my head, it was like an English
song.
artist.
Yeah. And we couldn't find it. And then all of a sudden, one day, like literally weeks, maybe a month or two later.
Yeah, I think it was a month later. I was just listening to Wonwee's music because I'm like, you know what? Let me just like do this on my drive to work. And that song came on. I was like, are you kidding me? Because in the beginning of the song, I was like, this kind of sounds like it could be this song. I was like, but I'll just let it sit for a second.
Yeah.
And then that portion comes in. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I was pissed. I recorded it immediately and I was telling you like, oh my gosh.
Well, because like when we were originally trying to find the song, we were like, there's no way it's a K-pop song. Like I can remember very distinctly these English lyrics and we're like, well, it could be, but there's no, like, we were convinced.
Yeah, we were
like,
even like searching like, because the lyrics are like, it's I want to be like over and over again. And so I was searching that and then search K-pop after, because sometimes if you put in like the most random English lyrics,
it'll pop
K-pop
up.
after, it'll pop up.
Google
but
knows.
Since it's Wonwee and they're not like as big of a group, it was not popping up at all.
Yeah, and like it was just funny too because we always like listen to new music and new groups and stuff, but Wonwee was such like a fleeting thing for a couple of days that we were like really like diving into them for a second, and then it just kind of like full halted for a second. Again, not sure why, because I absolutely love them, but it just never occurred to me that like, okay, what groups have we been listening to recently that it could be from? Didn't even think about it. So biggest shame on us, but Gravity by Wonwee, that's the song first of all, and then he just sounds amazing in it. Last but not least, on our top vocalist in K-pop list is going to be Kim Woo-sung from The Rose, and he also does some soloist music as well.
This is the most random thing ever. Big side note, his like English name's Sammy. Isn't
That's
that cute?
so cute. Oh, that's really fitting for him.
Like, I don't know why. I was like, that's a cute note. And then I just took note, so unrelated to what we're talking about. His brother's like 13 years older than him.
Wow.
So I just thought that was crazy. I don't know, just random facts for no reason.
Oh, I love him so much. He has got, again, such a unique and amazing voice. Like his rasp and his tone is just so beautiful. One of my personal favorites as well. I am going with a friend to go see The Rose soon. So sad that Brooke couldn't come with us this time, but I'll be
at home doing spooky things for Halloween.
It is on Halloween day.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so we will be traveling to that one. But I am so excited to hear this man live. I am assuming that it's going to be very similar to the Kihyun situation where I'm like, oh yeah, he's incredible, and then I'm going to hear it live and I'm going to be even more obsessed. Some examples of songs that you need to listen to if you're wanting to hear Woo-sung's voice is Phase Me, You Were Beautiful, I Need Somebody, and Snooze, which shout out to Yoongi for that one.
Yeah, thank you for knowing how to
pick good vocalists.
Yeah, produce a song for somebody's voice. And we wanted to kind of do honorable mentions for each category.
Because, like, obviously there's a ton of amazing singers out there, especially in K-pop, but we had to decide these lists of, like, undeniable tops in K-pop.
Yeah.
So these were just some of our other, like, personal favorites that didn't quite fit the list, but we definitely needed to shout out.
So we have DK from 17, just most amazing range ever. Sungwoo from Victon.
Stunning. I feel like every time I hear his voice, I'm like, oh my gosh, who is this?
The group is stacked.
They are.
Doyoung from NCT. That's like, his tone of voice is really nice too. It's one like I could listen to all day.
Well, and recently, like their NCT's released Golden
Age.
Yeah, a siren. Like,
literally.
Oh my gosh, incredible. Also, King Daniel, we really love his music in general, and his voice again is just very distinctive and just like comforting, to be completely honest. And then, of course, we have to shout out the iconic trio from Kingdom Legendary War, Youngkwang from B2B, Sungmin from Stray Kids, and Jongho from ATEEZ. They by themselves are absolutely incredible vocalists, and then together, that made the world collapse. That was the most amazing thing. Now let's jump into the top dancers in K-pop. First, without a doubt, we have to talk about Lee Taemin from SHINee, Super M, and all of his soloist work. He is simply just the top in K-pop. Like, this is a known thing. He is one of the best dancers in K-pop. He's known as like the Michael Jackson of K-pop as well, which is a huge title by itself. Like, that is very explanatory, but definitely just like revolutionary with some of his choreography and his music.
Music just honestly flows through this man's body, and if you just want examples of that, go check out. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't be saying go check out. Remind yourself of these songs, because most people, most of you know who he is, but
for real, if you do not know who Taemin is yet, you need to.
So either revisit these or check these out. Criminal, Move, Advice, and Want. And next is Tinley. He is a part of Wavy, NCT U, Super M, and is also a soloist, so he's everywhere.
And rightfully so. Like, I honestly, when we were thinking of this like top list, I feel like, especially for dancers in like the tops of K-pop, I have a very like distinctive list of like who's there. And quite honestly, 10 specifically over the past year or two is like really right there, right under Taemin. Like, he is incredible.
And he just really knows how to move his body. And I feel like his way of movement, again, he stands there like right by Taemin, but their ways of moving their bodies very different, and you can see their different styles. And he's just so good at doing like very sharp, but also flowy. I think of more flowy when I think of him.
Yep, agreed.
And he just can convey all of his lyrics through that. And yeah, maybe it's controversial, but he stands right by Taemin.
He does.
And honestly, Taemin would agree.
Yeah, he'd
would accept that.
For real. Well, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I could be digging myself a hole right here. I am pretty sure that Taemin has said 10 is one of the... Taemin is very critical about who he outwardly gives like big compliments to in the K-pop industry. And I am pretty sure that he has outwardly said that 10 is one of his favorite dancers.
That's
so
cute.
I'm like, if you're getting that kind of praise from Taemin, you know you're good.
So some videos to check out for him are Takeoff by Wavy, his solo work with Dream in a Dream and Birthday, and then his Humble dance cover and his lovely dance cover with Win Win.
Oh yeah, that one's amazing.
That one's stunning.
Oh, incredible.
It's like ever since I watched that made me like completely be wrecked by Win Win, but that's another topic.
Next on our list is Kwon Soon-young, or more commonly known as Hoshi from 17, which he is the performance team leader as well.
Yes.
And then he also has done some soloist work too. And I mean, talking about the performance team leader, he's quite literally in the group for like choreo and synchronization.
Yeah, 17's heavily known for that.
And even with like the 12 other members of 17, he stands out like crazy. He has just a very good way of like making the choreo his own, like throwing his own style in there. Some examples, if you're wanting to see how incredible of a dancer Hoshi is going to be some of his solo work, including Tiger, and I'm going to spell this one out because Brooke has severe arachnophobia, so SPIDER, or you can check out his performance with the 17 subunit for Cheers. Absolutely amazing. I don't know anybody who doesn't know that choreography from Cheers.
Oh, I know.
And also Hoshi did a dance cover to Troy Boy. It's absolutely incredible. I honestly just love the way that like Hoshi is able to take on such a persona or an idea and like portray that through his choreography. He's just incredible. So definitely go check all of those out.
And the last one to officially make the dance list is Jung Ho-suk from BTS, otherwise known as Hobie or J-Hope.
He also has some soloist work that he does.
It's incredible. Dear God. He has such a unique style about him that he fully embodies as well. And he's the kind of performer where you know who he is just based off of like his silhouette when performing.
Because like his body lines are that strong. Like he's incredible.
And he's just overall, I would say, an infectious dancer. Like people who don't want to dance, they suddenly want to dance. They just
Not personally related at all. But no, it's true. Well, and he's always known for like helping the other members make sure that they get the choreography right, and like he knows what he is doing.
He just very much like spreads joy and love for dance, and I love him for that. So good examples to watch for him are Boy Meets Evil, Just Dance, Chicken Noodle Soup, the 2018 MMA Idol performance, especially the intro portion, and his old Hope on the Street videos. Don't get that confused with the music video. That's good too, but like his old
check
old
that
stuff
out as well. But and just some honorable mentions for our dance list is going to be Haechin and Nikki, and me just putting them as a duo.
They should be. Holy crap, I would die.
For real. But Haechin from NCT and Nikki from ENHYPEN, honestly just like potential for top performers in general. And
just from like younger idols currently, they're kind of the two that I really hope do solo work. Like, I just think they'd be incredible at it.
Yeah, they really would. I hope in the future we do see that. And also Kai from EXO and Jimin from BTS I'm throwing in here because honestly they're just an iconic trio, especially with Taemin. He has said before that he would love to dance with those two, so like the three of them together dancing, like that'd just be iconic. Still hoping to see that one day.
Like, now that we just finished that list, shame on us for not actually putting, like, Kai in it.
I know.
Like,
I
would put him in, like, top list for performers.
Agreed. Yes.
We did
or
not
like
do
creative minds or like something like that.
Yeah.
He's in the top somewhere, but yeah.
Yeah, we didn't put a top performers in this category, in this episode.
Maybe that just means we'll have to do a part 2.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
We're going to take a small break and remind you that if you're enjoying this episode so far, make sure to follow the podcast and turn on notifications to make sure you never miss an upload in the future. And if you'd like to show some love, feel free to give us a rating as well. We'd really appreciate it. Before we jump back into the episode, it's time for another new segment, which we're calling K-pop Guilty Pleasures. We kind of have some new segments we're jumping around with. We might kind of flip-flop back and forth between the two depending on like the topic of the episode.
I'm so excited for them, and I'm really excited for this one. Let's kind of explain what a K-pop guilty pleasure is before we get into some of our examples here. But we're talking about like things that you just love to watch. So like, for
anything
example,
you're obsessed with.
Yeah. Like it could be like an era that a certain K-pop idol is in, or like a certain hairstyle that one of them has, or like, for example, I know that you've said before, like when Mark wears glasses, like that's like a K-pop guilty pleasure, something like that. So we actually put it on our Instagram to get some feedback from some of our followers, and we do have a couple that we want to shout out for our segment today. First, one of our very dear friends, Avelyn, said that her K-pop guilty pleasure is idols with boba eyes, specifically Jungwon from ENHYPEN, Jungkook from BTS, or Jaehyun from Boys Next Door. I so agree with this.
I've seen the cutest Twitter threads, or X threads, of especially like JK and Jungwon's boba eyes. It's so cute. It's just, and like, oh my gosh, I just remember people do those threads where they're like, do not eat boba. Blah, blah, blah. Like, like acting as if it's like a bad thing, and then it's just like
pictures of
people's eyes.
Yeah. It just like means that they're like big and dark and like bright kind of a thing. Yeah. I know Songhwa has been said to have boba eyes as well. I'm like, absolutely love.
It's so cute. And then our next shout out comes from one of our favorite small shops at Hi There Merch. And hers was watching pre-debut 17 compilations. I love that. That's really cute and wholesome.
That is so endearing. Also a mood. Like, love love watching, first of all, compilations in general, but like 17 pre-debut, that's so cute. And last but not least comes from another one of our favorite small shops here in Orlando, Kay from HK Creates. She said that her K-pop guilty pleasure is Bangchan and Yoongi edits with songs for girls with daddy issues.
I'm dead.
Relatable. If you want to participate in our future segments on the podcast, definitely first of all follow us on social media and keep an eye out for if we ever do more. But you can also head over to Patreon. That's where we're going to be doing most of our involvement with segments. It's so much fun. Again, we have so many in the future that we're excited to bring up, so definitely head on over to Patreon at thelunapod. Jumping right back into the episode, next is going to be the top rappers of K-pop, which makes us nervous because this is a definitely favorite section of K-pop in general.
I love rappers. So we're gonna start off with my ult, Min Yoongi, or Suga, or August D, whatever you want to call him. He's from BTS and also a soloist. Just the most beautiful lyricist ever in the whole wide world. Everything's just very personal and mental health forward. We talk a lot about that on my Old Bias episode. Min Yoongi, the producer king, just has a very sharp tongue and doesn't back away from saying any, like, talking on serious topics.
For real. And like, I feel like especially as a rapper, that's such an amazing thing to be doing. And he just like puts the words so perfectly that it like goes with his flow, which first of all, he has the most amazing flows in general. But like, I'm just so impressed at the way that he puts it all together. Like, he's just, that sounds dumb. I don't know how to like explain. He is so incredible.
Just overall very seasoned, knows what he's doing. And there's a billion examples that we could give you to listen to. But to start off, Daechwita, D-Day, and The Last. Those are some that I'd recommend the most.
Another member from BTS that we put in the top rappers group as well is going to be Kim Namjoon, or RM. He is the leader of BTS and also does soloist work as well. Again, another beautiful lyricist, and he just has the nicest way of like viewing the world and showing that through his rap.
And I think like him and Yoongi have such a different style, and again, they're both amazing lyricists, but they just view the world.
But
it's very different. Like, they view the world differently, but his just always come from like such a comforting place, I feel like.
Well, and I feel like having RM's like tone and way of rapping with Yoongi's tone and like, I don't know, it's like harsher. I don't know.
They complement each other very well.
Yes, I cannot speak. The rap line makes us nervous, so we are no words. RM is just very intelligent, and the way that he like produces his raps and just have multiple meanings and stuff as well. If you want some examples to check out RM's rapping, you can check out Wildflower, Trivia, Love, and Soul.
Next, we're going to talk about So Changbin from Stray Kids. Oh, looky here, another one of my ults.
I'm seeing a theme.
Dancing in my little chair. So yeah, he's the leading 4th gen rapper. Sorry.
Seriously. Like, again, we've said this in previous episodes, I think our Borderline ult episode. Every video that you watch that people have compiled together of like the top rappers in K-pop, Changbin's first.
Like, he's always right up there.
Yeah. And like, seriously, rightfully so. His flow, I just cannot.
He's just very powerful and fast when rapping, and all of his lines are just very notably him.
Some examples, if you want to hear his absolutely amazing rap skills, are Doodle, Heyday, and Mirror Mirror.
And the next on the list is Do Hanse from Victon. We're mentioning Victon a lot here.
Honestly, rightfully so, not gonna lie.
And again, with the group currently, we're not sure about the whole situation happening, so I think as of now, he hasn't been like officially announced. He's no longer in Victon, but he's not in the company anymore.
He's like doing some other stuff.
Yeah, he's now starting to come up with more solo work. Love him. Anywho, just a very, very unique voice. Could listen to him all day.
For real, his voice is so nice. Like, Hanse's voice is the kind of voice that we personally absolutely adore. We're probably going to do an entire episode on this because of how much we love this sound, but he's like the leading person in this sound that we love.
And he recently just joined one of his friends' companies, Dial Music, so hopefully there'll be a lot more solo work coming up. And also, biggest side note, he released his fandom name and it's Remi, so R-E-M-I. So it's Do Hanse, Do Remi.
That is literally so cute.
But good examples to listen to his skills is solo song Takeover, and then songs with Victon would be Stupid O'Clock and What I Said.
Next on the list is going to be Gwangil Jo. Honestly, don't know this artist super well, but he is incredibly talented. He is a soloist under Jerpin Carl's Records. He is incredibly fast. I remember we found him, I don't even remember when or how, but we found him very randomly, I think with his song Dark Adaptation.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, like his flow is just so fast and incredible, and it just sounds amazing and very emotional. Definitely recommend going to check him out. We need to look more into him, to be completely honest, but it was so impressive that he made this list. So that's saying something. Some other songs that you can go and check out from him is Acrobat and Korea.
Next on the list is Lee Juhan from Monsta X, and he also does solo work. His style is insane.
It is just so powerful.
And it's such a contrast with his real life personality.
Oh yeah, for real.
And I feel like most of his lines with Monsta X are just very addictive. He's really good with ad-libs. He's very good with just, I don't know how to
bringing like a flavor, a spice to it. Like, just so incredible. And again, I feel like similarly with Kihyun, hearing this live just so solidified that he needs to be in this list because he's just incredible.
And some good examples would be Hype Energy. That's probably my favorite from his most recent solo album, Lights. And then along with Freedom, that was iconic. That shows
so good.
His vocals as well. But again, we're focusing on rap right now. And then Voice is also from that new album. I loved it on the album, but I loved it 10 times more in person.
It wasn't released at the time. Yeah,
no. And we were confused. We're like, where's the song, babe?
Like, come on, tapping watch, like, where is it? And then finally releases it officially.
So that's a good one to check out. But I would honestly specifically look up a live version because like just his energy on stage also brings such a different factor to it.
Next on our list is going to be G-Dragon from Big Bang, and he also does some soloist work. I feel like everybody knows the name G-Dragon. He is just an icon in K-pop in general, but specifically his rapping. He writes and directs a lot of songs, and he's just got a very, again, powerful and iconic presence.
And just like other iconic moments for him, he like basically formalized Big Bang style which, like, good on you.
It's amazing.
Like,
Like that
that's
is
incredible.
Such a feat. Yeah.
And then just in K-pop in general, he literally started light sticks. He's the one that designed like the very first light stick ever.
Which you can hear more about that in our History of K-pop episode. Definitely recommend that one.
Yes. And he was like one of the main ones that popularized airport fashion. So thank you. Thank you.
G-Dragon consistently blows my mind. Like, he is incredible. He is such, like, a trend starter.
Yes.
He, like, probably, again, maybe a controversial statement, I would say G-Dragon might just be one of the top idols.
Honestly, yeah.
Again, I feel like we need to do a part 2 to this to do, like, just top idols in general. Some examples, if you want to hear G-Dragon's rapping, is going to be Coup d'etat, one of my personal favorite songs, honestly, and then also Bang Bang Bang, another one of my top favorite songs. Am I discovering something? I need to start.
Are you a VIP?
Am I? Yeah, wait, what? Okay, anyway, and also That XX.
And last on this list is BY. He's a soloist under Deja Vu Group, literally the founder. Cool.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh, we love BY. Like, again, I feel like we found him very randomly out of nowhere and just love his music. I don't know him as a person very well, but his music is incredible.
Yeah, he's definitely one that we also need to just dive deeper in. We just very randomly came across his mucus. His mucus? Hello?
Oh my god.
Hello?
He's spitting raps.
Spitting on the mic. Anywho, we just randomly listen to his music and absolutely love it, but we definitely want to get more into him. And very side note, but he finished up his enlistment in the spring, and
That's so
I think
exciting.
he just had a baby not too long ago, so he might be having still a little...
A baby?
Yes. So he might still be having, like, another little break or something. I don't really know, because I haven't caught back up since, like, doing this outline a while ago, but I'm really hoping for a comeback soon. And some examples to check out for him are Goddess a Day, I Did It, and Side by Side from Sweet Home.
Goddess a Day and I Did It are consistently songs that pop up on my, like, replay playlist, like, where I listen to it over and over and over. A lot of his music tends to be on that list for me, but Goddess a Day specifically. I listen to that song so much.
Listen, that one has me, like, goofy dancing in my room, like, at 3 a.m. You know? When you're just, like, dancing when nobody can see.
Now for our honorable mentions for the rap portion of the tops in K-pop, Icon's Bobby. He just has so much fun when he's rapping, and I really enjoy watching him.
I'm so in love with him.
Yeah. Also, Woo Jin Young, we again found him out of nowhere, and he's got that voice that we absolutely adore. Love, love, love his music. I think he's from the group Dice.
Mm-hmm. Which they're no longer a group anymore.
Oh, okay. So
they
yeah,
disbanded, I think.
Okay, we haven't kept up with him super well, but I really, really, really hope that he does more solo stuff.
Me too.
And then we also have to throw Zico in here. We didn't put him in the list because we just don't know him well enough at all, like even more so than some of these other ones that we said we weren't quite familiar with. But he is known as one of the fastest rappers in K-pop, and again, just a very iconic name. And then we literally just discovered him today. Outsider. Again, don't know at all, but he's known as the fastest rapper in K-pop, and we listened briefly to one of his songs, and it is really good. Like, just very...
Yeah, so he just deserves a shout out.
Yeah, absolutely. Honorable mention.
Now on to this next category, visuals. This was a cutthroat category. Obviously, there are so many idols with amazing visuals, and everyone has their own preferences. I go for the Changbins, you go for the Sunghwas.
Yes.
And sometimes someone doesn't find them attractive, and like even though it's annoying, like I could see where someone's coming from. Mm-hmm. Whatever.
Similarly, on the flip side, like if someone's attractive but not necessarily my personal thing, I can see where you're coming from.
Yes. But these idols in this list, no question, they are top visuals, regardless of anyone's preferences. In this list is, I'm so sorry, not up for debate. Don't even question a single one. Don't bet an eye. Don't roll an eye.
So I feel like this is not in a particular order necessarily, but first is going to be Hwang Hyunjin from Stray Kids.
Just perfect.
Yeah, like literally there's not a single photo that he looks bad in. He's so stunning. Definitely a top visual. And also from Stray Kids we have Lee Felix. Again, you can't look at these two and tell me they are not some of the top visuals in all of K-pop.
I know. I don't know how Stray Kids got this lucky, to be completely honest, because this is insane. Especially them as a duo. Like, I don't even know what photo shoot it was. But, I mean, you literally just look up the two of their names on Pinterest, and you'll find the photos we're talking about. It was just very, like, black and gold. Very,
they were, like, both blonde, and they, like, it looks so amazing.
It was stunning. They had, like, little gems and stuff by their eyes. You'll know it when you see it. It's just absolutely stunning.
I feel like Hyunjin gives Prince vibes. Like, he's just very royal looking. And then Felix is very... like sharp in his features, but his freckles need a shout out so badly because they are the cutest thing. Next on our list is the real life prince, Park Sung-hoon from ENHYPEN. That wraps it up, to be completely honest. He is
really don't even have to say anything else.
Like you can't
deny it.
Also, like an ice skating king. I love him.
So
He's
cute.
amazing. I think we're gonna be doing our ENHYPEN group chat soon, so stay tuned for that. But Sung-hoon, stunning.
And next is Im Chang-kyun, or I.M from Monsta X. Just
This
perfection
man,
of a face.
Yeah, he is one of the most stunning people on the planet.
I can't even describe it. I think his nose helps him so much. Like, his nose is very perfect. Like,
He's just incredible. I feel like we're having to filter ourselves so much to not make this, like, to make this a friendly episode. But yeah, he's
just a standard.
He really is.
For visuals in my brain. Next, we have Jung Jaehyun from NCT 127 and more recently, Do Jae-jung. I can't even fathom that this man exists.
For real, yeah.
Like, seeing him live was insane, and I'm just like, I don't know, like, you expect people to look the way they do online through your phone, but for them to be better somehow when you already thought they were amazing.
It's mind-boggling, honestly, and it happens every time we go to a concert. I'm like, wow, how is this even possible?
And we just freak out anytime he pops up on the screen during music videos.
We have said this before, but he is one of the most attractive idols and people of all time. Like, there is very few people that rank up with him in the top most attractive idols.
Mm-hmm. He will always remain in my top 5. I don't care who else I discover. He will always be in the top 5.
Same. And honestly, I don't think he's even a bias for either of us, technically.
No, he was very potential for me during the beginning of my NCT life. And I mean, I decided with someone else, but he's still he's always been like a wrecker.
Yeah,
and
just like
he stays there, he lingers there.
Yeah. Next is going to be Kim Taehyung from BTS, also known as V. This man is just a model. I feel like he can do every single concept perfectly.
That's true.
Like, he is just able to adapt his style and his look so amazing, and he is just absolutely stunning. I don't know a single person that would disagree with him being in this list.
Just in general, like, his style sense adds to it so much. There's all these times where he's like gone to fashion shows and stuff, and that just suits him so well. Like, him just going abroad, going to Europe. He gives Europe vibes.
The last one who made this undeniable top visuals in K-pop list is going to be Jackson Wang from GOT7 and also does a lot of soloist work. He is just the absolute standard among men in general. Like, this man is husband.
Mm-hmm. His face is literally perfect.
Yeah.
To start out our honorable mentions for visuals, we have Cha Eun-woo from Astro. Just straight perfection. Like, he gives Prince as well.
Yeah, he does. And I feel like it helps that he's done so much acting as well, because most of the time, if you're an actor, you have a perfect face in the K-drama world. But yeah, he is absolutely, undeniably attractive.
And another is Rie from Only One Of, and simply not my fault that y'all don't know he exists.
For real, he is so stunning. He does not get the credit he deserves.
He really doesn't.
For his visuals.
Overall, that is a very pretty visual group. Like, they are
100%.
stacked up, the entire group.
We have a very deep love for Only One Of, but yeah, Rie, huge honorable mention here. So even while recording this episode, we realized that we will probably need to do a part 2 to this, because there's other categories that we are thinking of, like the tops of K-pop in, including like the top creative minds or like the top leaders. So stay tuned for a part 2 to this episode. Before we head out today, we just wanted to let you know that we just started reactions over on Patreon. So if you'd like to watch along, you can find us there at thelunapod, where you can also get exclusive content and participate in our podcast segments, like shouting out your favorite song for the song of the moment, which is what we are going to do right now, our song of the moment. This week, it is going to be
Baggy Jeans by NCT U.
We have been so obsessed with this lately. I'm in a very much NCT mood lately anyway.
As you should.
Is that because we're preparing for the future? We're announcing for a very fun month coming up. We are going to have an entire NCT November. So we've been preparing for that. We've been in a huge NCT mood, and Baggy Jeans is everything.
Yeah, so this unit for Baggy Jeans was the 7 Cents unit, so you knew it was going to be amazing. So Taeyoung, Mark, Tin, Do-young, and Jaehyun.
Wow.
What more could you ask for?
It is so good, and the music video is also just absolutely incredible. If you want to see us react to that, again, it is over on our Patreon. It was a lot of fun. As always, you can find us on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube at thelunapod, and on Instagram at thelunapodcast for up-to-date information on episode releases and behind-the-scenes fun. We post all sorts of content, so definitely make sure to follow us and check that out. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Bye!